Indoor climbing is a sport I've enjoyed for almost 5 years. The consistently changing boulders and routes at my local gym keeps me enthusiastic by providing a bunch of new climbing problems to solve every week. To try out a nice change of pace, I recently decided to see what the outer island gyms are like, but instead of flying to each to visit them, I'm going to get there by way of the Norwegian Cruiseline's Pride of America. I'll show you what that was like next. An inter-island cruise was not my first choice. I had contemplated between a Caribbean cruise or an Alaska cruise, both being cruises that I've done in the past multiple times. The hesitation on both was the air travel necessary to get to the west or east coast for either cruise. I've also been on the inter-island cruise multiple times, but the reason I decided to do it again was because I had seen everything I needed to in past island visits and felt climbing gym visits would be a nice change of pace, combined with the amenities available on a cruise after a long day of climbing. The cruise starts at Pier 2 in Honolulu. First port of call is Kahului, Maui, where we're docked for 2 days. It then moves on to Hilo for a day, then Kona for a day, then heads to Nauwiliwili on Kauai, where we're docked for 2 days. We leave Kauai Friday evening and return to Honolulu Saturday morning. The embarkation onto Pride of America went smoothly. Boarding begins about 10 a.m., but I've found boarding early doesn't necessarily get you into your cabin early, since cabins are being cleaned till about 1 p.m. I boarded at 3 p.m. and was able to go directly to my cabin, which was nice after carrying my carry-on for about an hour by then. The ship will leave Honolulu at 7 p.m. and by then, people are eating, having drinks, and making the most of what they paid for. One of the first sights you'll encounter heading into Maui are pods of whales just off the left side of the ship. This is a seasonal occurrence, and I was unlucky enough to arrive just after mid-March, which is a little too late. There were some whales bobbing up and down at the surface, but no breaches. A lady I talked to said her daughter went on a whale watch tour during the first week of March, and from her description, it sounded like the whales were a lot more active at that time. Here's our arrival at the Kahului cruise port. The harbor does have seawalls to provide some protection from rough seas, which can make all the difference when arriving on a cruise ship. I'll explain later in this video why this is important. On Google Maps, the cruise port is here at the top. On foot, you'd have to take this path to get to the climbing gym. The distance is about 1.6 miles, and though the walking time is estimated at 66 minutes, I'm thinking that is a very slow pace. I felt I walked at a very slow pace, and it took me 45 minutes to get from the front door of the gym to the gangway of the ship. The building you're looking for is this one. It's on a large piece of property by itself, but a landmark that will let you know you're close is Costco Wholesale, which is the next building north of the gym. This is the first bouldering wall you'll see after checking in at the front desk. Something that tends to be a minor problem, as you can see in this shot, are the kids that run around on the mats. It's not that the parents and staff are not going after the kids, but more so the kids go right back to doing what they were just told not to do. This bouldering wall is at the back of the gym. Where the wall at the front was mostly 0 degrees of tilt, this wall has a bit more at different angles. Between the front and back walls is this section for rope climbing. There's only top rope and lead, no auto belay. I like that this wall is taller than the one in my local gym back in Honolulu. The last bouldering wall is this overhang. A lot of the better climbers tend to hang out here, which is great since it frees up the easier walls for me. I took this time lapse at a time when it was actually busy at this gym. You don't quite see the crowd in this clip because they were just behind me at the overhang. I've only been to this gym once before, and both times the top rope and lead climbing were always crowded. Hilo Harbor does have a seawall, but I've found it won't stop rough seas from causing problems in the harbor. One of my first cruises to Hilo was not able to dock due to rough seas in the harbor. At that point, the ship will spend the day out at sea with alternative onboard entertainment. The weather looked as if it could start raining any minute, but I did bring my umbrella along, just in case. Besides, on a vacation like the one I'm on this time, where I'm visiting climbing gyms, rain is not that big a deal. On Google Maps, the cruise port is here on the far right. You won't want to walk this path to get to the climbing gym, and you won't have to. There's a free shuttle that makes one stop very near to where the gym is located. After getting off the ship, walk through the warehouse and look for the line of people waiting for the shuttle. The shuttle will drop you off at the red pin shown on this map. From the bus stop, I like to walk this path to the gym because it passes the outdoor market as well as many restaurants and coffee shops you might find of interest. You'll approach the gym from this exact direction. It doesn't look like much, and it isn't. As soon as you enter the front door, off to the left is the one and only bouldering wall that's reset on a regular schedule. Climbing it, I found there were some pretty challenging sequences equivalent to the V3 level I like to climb. There definitely were some harder ones that were beyond my skill. I would guess V4 or V5. In general, because there's not much wall space in such a small gym, all holds are on the smaller side. This wall is considered a kiddie wall to keep the kids busy and away from the main wall, though the kids can climb the main wall if they want to. The other purpose of this wall is as a traverse challenge. The holds are numbered 1 through 150, and many of the holds repeat as a different sequence number. Here's the basic rules. I actually enjoyed this wall quite a bit. It's an interesting challenge that's a nice change of pace. There's also this log of traverse attempts. It gives you a good idea of how popular this challenge is. If there's one thing that would make me do this cruise again, which I'm seriously considering, it's this gym. It's so different and quirky that it does make for a nice change of pace, especially with all the other gyms on the cruise being what one would expect. We did not make it to Kona, but if we had, this is what it would look like. The ship would anchor offshore and the tenders would be used to get passengers to shore. I was a little bummed when the captain came on the PA to announce we could not dock in Kona due to large waves at the pier. As mentioned earlier in this video, we did spend the day at sea and it was pretty interesting, but I would have rather spent the day in Kona. For future reference, the gym is not far from the pier at all. The pier is at the bottom in this image, and the total distance to the red pin is just over 3/4 of a mile. About halfway through the walk, there is a parking lot that looks like you can cut through to make the walk even shorter. They do have a website if you need more information, and there's some great photos on Google Maps of the wall layout. It's another fairly small gym, but from the photos, it looks like the climbing could be fun. Arriving in Kauai went smoothly. There's no climbing gyms on this island, so I'm not going into detail about the 2 days spent here. As far as the harbor's resilience to rough seas, it does have a well-designed layout of seawall that I feel would allow ships to dock even in rough seas. It rained a lot the first day, but was a lot clearer the second day, which is when I went on a tour of Lydgate Farms. It was a great guided tour on the farming of high-quality chocolates, and something I'd recommend if you're a dark chocolate lover. Due to a storm that had hung over the islands the entire week of the cruise, rough seas were a possibility. Even with that, by the time I returned to Honolulu, my mind had been made up that I really want to do this cruise on a regular basis as a comfortable way to visit outer island gyms without having to worry about airfare, lodging, food, and probably even more so, TSA lines. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. That's all I have for now, and I will catch you in the next video.